morning, everyone. How's everybody this morning?
Good morning.
Good. I'm told I got to hold still a little bit here because he wants to make sure I'm up and down. But that's for those who, you know, so we can broadcast it on the channel so they can kind of keep up. But and then there's cameras going this way, so you know the public can see how we're doing. So I'm really excited everybody's here this morning. You know, believe it or not, you know, there's going to be some things that this morning that, and right away I got to say something that, you know, is just kind of off base. We're going to have some things that are not, as part of what we get together for, some things that aren't going to be working, right? So we get together, you tell us what's not working, and we try and work on it, fix it. But some people got notified, and some people didn't. You know, we sent this out citywide so we can make sure that we have, you know, we get together. We'll do more of these where we can take some time. And, you know, I know I'm going to run off some things so you can hear what we're doing. And then you can fire back about, hey, that's good, but, you know, we'd like to see this too. And that's really what this is about. So that was my lead up to say, hey, some things aren't working because the post office is not working. We met with the postmaster, and we're constantly on them. They've explained to us different things that are going on with postal issues, but we met with the postmaster and the supervision of the post office within the last 30 days, and we'll keep meeting with them. So if you have issues, contact my office and let me know, or let your alderman know, because that's something we want to continue to do. So again, good morning. I want to say to everybody, I think most of you got the notice my name was on it. I'll say it again, it's Roger Agpawa. So I know I'm in my second term, so if you didn't know, because there may be somebody who doesn't, you know, and maybe you got this and say, I want to go give that guy a hard time today, and that's okay. So you all, some of you I know, you toughened me up enough to be able to handle it. So, but that's part of what we do. So I do have some staff here today that works for you. They don't work for me. They just work with me, and that, you know, and definitely the elected officials that are here. All the lady McDowell is in the hall. She's been serving. Many of you know her over in the second ward, and she's even, the way the wards have gone, extended to this side of town into Bremen. And then actually the city clerk is out there assisting. Leslie Trammell is out there, and she's assisting. I know the treasurer, Belinda Richardson's not here. Old Lady Hampton, I did not see her from the first ward. I know Alderman Bertrand is here from the third ward. And Alderman Barron has got family things going on. He told me he wouldn't be here, but we'll cover Alderman Barron however we need the fourth ward. He's my alderman, I'll give him a hard time. So, hey, that's how it works. I'm a citizen too. So, he gets my complaints. That's real talk. So, and then Mr. Champion is the city administrator. He's here. We're doing some things in that area that I have to tell you, that makes government professional. You know, I was telling people a long time ago, and I'll say it again, it'll eventually happen, as far as I'm concerned, unless somebody changes it around. And at some point, the mayor's job in most of these communities is not a full-time job. And so we just, oh, there's Old Lady Hampton. Good morning, Old Lady Hampton. She's there. Okay, she's getting coffee. So. All right. And then we have Miss Bond, Kim Bond, from the senior building. She's the director down there. Yeah, getting a lot of love there. So she's the director here for, and of course our firemen, they come to help us, and you know, so, but you know, I had to point that out about what positions are, because most governments are ran by managers and administrators, and the mayor and the council, they do governance in terms of legislation, and those type of things, that represent you all. And so I just have believed that since the beginning of my term to be the mayor, is that, hey, let's get this straight. Let's straighten things out. You know, I know that we even had to do that with salaries of people and things like that, because we had a lot of things that were just all over the place. about how you pay people, and you pay professional people to run your government. And so when you look at towns that are more successful or doing a little better or well, don't get mad and just see what they're doing. And you know, it's not rocket science to see why something's going that way. So the three things I'm going to talk about, I'm going to first give you some updates. Then I want to share some philosophy with you, if I can, about how I govern and why and how I do it. Because, you know, when I bring the police department in this very same room and explain to them about what we're doing upstairs, they need to know that, so when they hit the street, it makes sense. It makes sense for what they're doing, and when you talk to them that way, and you tell them why you're here. And even with the firefighters, I met with them, you know, the different departments, come in here, this is what we're thinking about, we need you to extend that to the street. Now, is it going to be perfect? No. But that's what leadership is about, and trying to get it straight. So one thing that I say, and you've got to appreciate me at least this much for, and I'm going to reference my wife, because she knows me pretty well. Would you stand, Janet Agpawa? This is my wife. And I got personal, and it brought me to my wife, because I want you all to know me the same way. You know, we're neighbors. Because I'm the mayor, I'm the leader of the city, but I'm the neighbor. That's true. So what affects you affects me. So, you know, I have a personal stake in this. But the thing that you need to know about your neighbor is that, you know, yeah, I cut my grass, and I do the things to take care of my house like I'm supposed to, and all that. But then you ask me, hey, listen, we're going to elect you to run the city. Well, why'd you do that? You did it. You don't think I'm up here trying to figure it out, right? You expect me to know what I'm doing, right? Right. So here's the thing. There are no schools for mayors. There really isn't. But I'll tell you what there is. There's a school of what we all know in the room is, you know, hard knocks and life itself and things that happen. So by me being here for 45 years plus and being raised here like many of us, we've been here our whole lives. We also saw, you know, that's what makes it decent for what we're trying to do, is because we saw where this thing went bad. So we had the opportunity to know, and we could share with each other about how to get it right. And, you know, I told somebody yesterday from another community, and they came over to talk to me. They're working on things in their town. They're having tough times in their community. And I get calls from other mayors or leaders that have even gone through transition, because the other thing is that Markham was a melting pot of white and black predominantly at one point, because I was raised right in it, and plus you look at me at the wrong day, you don't know what I am anyway. So I joke about that because it's real talk. You know, it's real talk. So I'm having breakfast or coffee with you because it's a real conversation. And so this is what I want you to see, what I'm made of about trying to fix stuff for us, you know. And so by being here all that time with you all and seeing where it didn't work, I also know what, again, intimately what we need to fix and where it went bad. And where it went bad is because some people that we had in government, and not the people that are on the dais now, they know. I'll tell you no. I will tell you no. See, because here's the thing. It doesn't mean I'm right. We'll figure it out. If I have to start, and sometimes I had to start with saying no first, because that's what it is. Listen, if you want a standard of living in your community and you want to be right, you got to tell people no. They're not going to like it. And you can. And the other thing is, during the course of this morning, when you all start talking, you know, everybody's not going to think the same. So I'm cool with that. I get it. And I represent everybody. You know, and it's the truth. Now, it may not be anybody in this room, but some people that come to the office that are even delusional. It's like, you know, what planet are you from? So, but guess what? We love them enough to do right by them and try and protect them and try and see if they'll make some sense about something. That's what we're, you know, otherwise we should be doing this, because I tell them, if you're not here to take care of people, you need to leave government. You shouldn't be here. then you shouldn't work here. You don't belong here. If you can't put up with or find some tolerance about dealing with people that you don't disagree with, I mean, that you don't agree with and you don't like something about it, so what? Everybody's different. So we have to do that. So I wanted to lead off with a little bit of me about what we're doing here and what this is what gets resonated. I'm not saying things to you all as the public that I don't share with Alderlady Hampton. I don't share with Alderman Bertram. Any of the staff or the officials, they know that, and we talk about it. Listen, some people get offended by this, but you should appreciate it because I do, and I would expect someone that I say everybody can't live in Markham. Some people need to move. Some people, listen, especially the ones you got on your block. And we will help facilitate that. And that's not being, we haven't arrived. I'm not talking like that. I'm talking about the only way this gets better is that we have good neighbors. And we ask them to do that. And I know some of you in this room have got neighbors that we've tried to fight with. You got different things around you that we're still fighting to try and get them straight. So we're conscious. I can have conversations with everybody in here at some point and know where there's problems on your block or what you're dealing with. And it's on my mind. I go home with this, and I go and I talk with the other council people about it. So let me just say a couple of things so I can let you all get going about the things that you want to talk about. Just to give some update, I know that I talked with the city council. I told them I want to have a working meeting with them. We had a council meeting, and then we had budget hearing because we're in budget hearing now, but we'll probably pass our budget next council meeting. And so we've got different things that are going on around the community. Mr. Champion probably can be like an auctioneer, and he can run through some of them and tell you. But I know that we've got some different things on the toll road. I'm just going to look at a list that's everywhere. The toll road. Markham also has. We have our own water pipe to Chicago. We have our own pipeline. So that's a good thing. We're tied with Midlothian and have been for many years. And so when other people have water issues, it won't affect us the same way. Now, we were in some places where we almost were going to get rid of that pipeline and join with some other people. Once I caught on to that, we had to do what we do. First of all, I had to go over and talk to my friend Gary LaRue. He's the mayor of Midlothian. Went over and said, Gary, listen, I know you might want to think about joining with somebody else with water, but we got our own thing. So let's not get rid of it. And then before he said anything to me, I said something to him. I said, you know what, if I didn't pay my bills, I wouldn't want to be with you either, or vice versa. Because we were behind. A lot of things in this city were behind when I got here, tons of things. And that was an issue. I wasn't embarrassed by it, I inherited it. But what was I going to do about it? Own it, first of all. You can't say, you can't fix it unless you own it and say it's a problem. Exactly. So I'm not going to say, oh, no, it's not a problem. No, it's a lot of problems here. So that was one. We're talking about Canterbury's been in a tip for many years. Most of these businesses, unfortunately, that any mayor will tell you, go knock on the door. Tips are just the only bargaining tool or chip you can get to get businesses in your town. It's so unfortunate. What you have to do, though, we're in a position now to bargain a lesser percentage of what we give away. That's the difference. But we had some things, the baby in the bathwater thrown out. So that's something that we'll address. Canterbury itself, we're working to improve it. The school districts, I want to mention to you all about them. If you have something, we don't run the school district, but I'll tell you what, a lot of the money that comes out of your tax bill, a great deal of it goes to the school district. Believe me. Now, one of the things that they have some responsibility to do, I'm going to start going to more school board meetings. So that's one of the things that I mentioned to the council. We're going to be doing some restructuring of the police department, restructuring of public works. There's different things that we're doing. We own a building down the street. We're expanding the public works campus and what we're doing. We're even talking about rebuilding in the future to try to get the police department moved to another facility down the street here on Kedzie and make another police campus. And We're working on that. Just kind of mention that. We're restructuring what we do with the code department because we need more code enforcers out there to tell some of our neighbors that don't bring the garbage can in, and leave it out there all week. And, you name it, just on and on. So we're going to deal with that. One of the things that's a big deal, we've been spending a lot of time in Springfield. Myself and the other legislators, we've been spending time down there. There's different bills that are going to affect us that we're fighting about. One of them, people in this room, I'll give you, the governor's trying to propose a grocery tax to reduce it. If you've heard about it, it may help all of us when we go to the grocery store. But from a municipal standpoint, you'll see your grocery bill go down. But what happens to municipalities, our municipality would lose about $700,000 if he imposes that. Like our neighbors, like in Country Club Hills, they would lose a couple million because they have, Walmart over there. We have Fair Play, different numbers, but $700,000 is enough to pay a lot of the salaries of the police and firemen, pay the pensions and all that, and we have to pay that. So if we lose that $700,000, we got to find it somewhere else. So we fight about those things with our legislators, and that's what we go to talk to them about. So that's just one mention of there. One of the things that we were talking about a while back, it'll be part of our plan as a team with the council, and that is to do more senior services, obviously, and we want to get another senior building, a community building. We've been housing different programs with our seniors here, but we want to do more things that way, and I'm getting towards the end of my list, and then I'll have Mr. Champion come mention the hard things. Mr. Champion, you head this way. Speedway, we know we got Thornton's. You remember we talked about Thornton's coming, now they're down that building. Well, that's going to help with sales tax, going to help with motor fuel tax and revenue and other things, and those are the things that there'll be some other ancillary services out of a building like that. We talked to Speedway down here about improving their facility as well, and I just wanted to mention that one too. Now, if any of you are interested too in being part of, if you got some time with planning and zoning and the library board and things like that, please get a hold of my office. But remember, the same way I told you about me about how I do things, don't sign up and then come run interference. Sign up and come and make the library or whatever it is, move and get better. You know what I mean? So if you know there's going to be an issue, it's like, well, I'm going to probably not like that. Don't sign up for that. Sign up, come fuss with me about what you don't like, but don't join the board and hold it up. Because the community still got to move. See, so I'm trying to make sense about stuff. That's all. I'm not saying we can't fuss and not understand, something together. That's going to happen. So, Mr. Champion, I think I'm going to hand it over to you. So you can do an update, and then I can get ready for them.
Hey, let's give the mayor a round of applause. This is what real leadership really looks like. We are truly public servants. I know the mayor mentioned when he took office that we were in a deficit. We were like, I think, $11 million in the hole, but now we have a surplus. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Before I give an update, I just want to give a little bit of background about myself, because I don't think any of you all, I haven't had the opportunity to meet everybody personally yet, but I want to acknowledge one of our small businesses here, because she's wearing the Chicago Bears shirt right now. And the Bears are the #1 pick and the #9 pick, but she is a small business owner. We support our small businesses. She just started an online notary company or a business. I didn't know that existed, but because of COVID, the state has given opportunity to small businesses like that, and I'm really excited about that. So let's give her a round of applause too. I got to get home and check out round 4 of the draft, so I'm taking it. I started my career in federal government. I clerked at the U.S. Attorney's Office for 18 federal prosecutors. From there, I went over to the Illinois Comptroller's Office as Public Affairs Manager for the state of Illinois. It was my introduction to the Southland, and that's how I was able to meet the mayor. From there, I went over to the Department of Commerce as African American Business Development Manager, helping individuals that wanted to either start or grow a business. So I helped individuals like yourself with resources. The Department of Commerce has tons of resources for small businesses, such as Advantage Illinois, which is a participation loan program that there's a sub-program called FAME, which is Funds for Advancing Minority Entrepreneurship, where there's a 2% fixed interest rate for 7 years on those dollars. So small businesses have to take advantage of that. We'll be hosting workshops as time goes on for small businesses here. From there, I got promoted to Deputy Director of the Office of Minority Economic Empowerment, an office that was established because the state of Illinois wasn't getting enough resources in areas like this. So I found myself up and down the state, helping small businesses from Cairo to East St. Louis, Decatur, Rockford, Peoria, the east, south, west sides, Little Village, Pilsen, and just helping individuals over that protected class that I was over. So I'm really excited that I have been a public servant, and to serve in Markham is really a tremendous honor for me. The mayor has trusted me to do some things, and I'm really grateful for that. So with that being said, I want to kind of move forward with some of the ongoing projects that we currently have going on in the city. Of course, the mayor mentioned that we have Thornton's gas station that broke ground. So anytime that there's development like that, you know, that means job creation. It means more tax revenue. The one thing that when Amazon came here, that's a 4 million square feet facility, 3,200 employees, nestled in between 3 major highways here, 294, 57, and 80. I knew that we can use Amazon as an anchor to attract other businesses. So companies or businesses like Starbucks are now looking to find property. We're working on some real estate things behind the scenes. I know a lot of people think that things happen overnight, but sometimes there's a lot of legal things that have to happen from, just trying to get property moved. So there may be individuals that may be occupying certain pens in certain business districts, so we have to kind of go through certain workflows and process to kind of button that up. But stay tuned, we have restaurants. A restaurant just recently closed on a deal here. So stay tuned, we have a sit-down restaurant coming. We are really excited about that. But I want to talk about one of the major pains in a lot of the Southland area, which is our failing infrastructure. We have been pursuing grants like tenaciously. The federal government under the Biden administration released a $1 trillion infrastructure grant. And that money trickles down to the EPA on the federal level, and then it goes down to the Illinois EPA. We have put in a request for about $30 million, and I'm really grateful that Alderwoman Hampton's ward would be the first ward that would benefit from this funding in the fall. So it's a phased-out project, but phase one is going to start this fall. We are focusing on the heavily flooded areas, but we're working in. Hey, I hear you back there. but we are really, we have all kinds of funding from improving flooding in Bel Air. We have green infrastructure monies that we have coming down the pipeline. The city of Markham was just awarded a $1.4 million build-up cook program that's going to redevelop our old council chambers, $500,000. We are getting a generator for our water pump system. We're going to change hydrants out. But anywhere that there's flooding and all that stuff, we are addressing it. MWRD, we have a $500,000 grant from MWRD that we are working on now as well. And we're really happy about that. So I see that there's a question.
Yes, very briefly. You said how much money is going to be allocated to the city of Markham from getting these pumps going, all the flooded out areas?
We're looking at around a total of $30 million. But it's a loan forgiveness program. So the Illinois was earmarked for about $19 billion. The city of Markham, our request, working with our engineer, we have about a $30 million ask, so about $30 million.
30 million, all right.
Yeah. And also, let me see, we have a water distribution improvement hydrant replacement program that's going to be replacing some of the flooding where the mayor lives, over in that area, off of Plainview, I think it is. We also have a $120,000 grant from the Environmental Protection Agency for inventorying our water service lines throughout the city. And Dunkin' Donuts is coming here too, as you already know. That should be opening in July. It's just there's some delays in equipment, so that should be opening in July. And of course, Pace is building their new facility as well. Okay. All right.
Okay. So I'm going to turn over, I just want to do one last thing, and then it's all for you all to ask us all the questions, so Mr. Champion, stay nearby. One of the things, again, we'll try and give you some understanding. That's what I want to try and do when it comes down to, like, well, why would you build a Dunkin' Donuts in one place and build it across the street? Some of this doesn't make sense, right? Well, it doesn't, but this is what they do to downsize and cut their overhead and all that. And then we have to keep pressing business people to do certain things. So let me just go to this last point I want to make so we can get to all your questions. I said something about the philosophy of running government. And one of the things that, when I first took office and knowing all the perils that we had and have, well, we don't have as many by far now, but we had a ton of them. And one of them was that $11 million deficit. Well, we don't have a deficit. We have a surplus now.
All right. As well as
I'm going to wait and really take in all the applause a little later. I really need that. Well, because I'm just built like, hey, the work's not over, so I appreciate you saying thanks and applauding me, but I feel like we got to do more. So I can't get comfortable with that, and I don't. And my wife will tell you that's how I'm not like that. I don't, but thank you. I don't want to discount what you're saying to me, but I'm not going to relax. So my point is, when I was going door to door getting signatures to get on the petition to run for mayor, I was shaking my head because I could not believe the condition of the community and how bad it was. Now, I'm not saying, again, I'm not here standing up and saying we're there, but I'm telling you we were in worse shape. And many of us know. So why am I saying that? I'm saying that because I knew that we had to have a philosophy about it. Here's how basic it is. If I came to anybody's house here, if I came over to your house, and if it wasn't clean, and I didn't feel safe, I'm not coming back. Simple enough? So the same premise had to be here. So you see people out here cleaning every day because we're sending a message. And then you see more visibility with police, and guess what? We're putting more police on. And we can afford it. If we have a surplus, then that means we can afford it. We've had some things that probably historically are going to happen. No one totally, unless you understand what you have to do in these positions totally, and that's what we try to explain. When Amazon came in, we had to make some concessions to make the taxes make sense here, opposed to where Will County is, where Monique's Amazon is. Otherwise, Amazon wasn't going to come. Well, they know they have a lot of our communities that are disenfranchised over the barrel. So you have to make certain concessions with TIFs and what they call Class 8 county tax incentives. So and that's what we take this is one of our brochures to where we sell the community. That's why we passed it out to you. That's all it is. I wasn't trying to show you my picture. But that's what people want to see. You know, anybody knows me, I don't wear a suit all the time because I work. I'm a worker, so I wear a suit to be your ambassador when it's time. But I'm not off in all of that stuff. I got suits. I didn't want to buy any suits. I had 2 suits when I took off. Because I get rid of suits. Because I was a worker, but I have to represent you, so then that's a different ballgame. So you start doing that. But the point is, what we were doing is setting the stage, okay? Because, and I'm gonna tell you, there are still some places right now that people still are not coming past I-57 to come over here from the west. That's the truth. So we still have work to do. That's the point. That we still have different things that we have to do, but we're in a better position to do it. So I wanted to share with you that the way Markham gets better is just like any other community. It's what I said to you earlier about we have a standard of living. So if we know about it or we see it, we're going to correct it. If you see it, then say something, and we'll continue to go after it and deal with it. None of it happens overnight, because even with squatters, you can't get a squatter out.
Yeah.
And take it because they wind up with more rights than we have, and it's a process. So some things that where some things have worked for you and some things haven't. That's just how it's going to be, and we'll keep after it. Doesn't mean that we don't have good intention, but communities become good and better by who lives there. That's So I don't know. I will say this. One of the things that was kind of troubling. This is the last thing I'll say, and then we're going to go to your questions. One of the bills in Springfield that really was troubling to me was what they call a crime-free housing bill. And what that did, that crime-free housing bill, if they changed the law, it would not allow us to adjudicate in some way to get renters out of property that have had a lot of crime there. That would handcuff us as a community, or not just Markham, a lot of communities. So I'm part of the Metro Mayors, not just the Southland Mayors group. And so we have other Northwest communities that were just as equally upset about it. But we're more upset about it than they are, because we have probably 700 to 1,000 renters. What does that do to a community if they don't understand the same thing some of us do? But we have to protect their rights. That's the law. But what the bill was driven to do was to stop us from regulating how they live in those properties. And so they were using some people, 1 or 2 single mom or something, and testified in Springfield to say, well, I'm being wrongfully evicted from my house. And I call the police too much, so they put me out. Well, that's nonsense. We probably advocate better for them than some of the slumlords that take care of them. We take care of them than they do. They want their water shut off when they're not paying rent. They want to get them out, all kinds of stuff, and we stop that. We try to be fair with them, but there's some out there we'd like to see them go too. Yeah. But those are the things that we have to fight with the legislators about, and even fighting with the governor about a grocery tax and how that would affect us and what we have to pay for. So I said plenty. We said we're here for your questions. I know a couple of the aldermen around here too. If I need to reference them for something, I will. We're going to have a mic to go around, and we'll just have you raise your hand if you have a question. We'll walk over with you with a mic. I hope you took some notes, because this is your community. And we work for you, and we want to make sure that we can talk about these things. So we're going to go back to once we go one by one with questions, and we'll take all the time we need to do with your questions. So go ahead. Good morning.
Good morning. I wanted to ask you, what was the status on the animal control officer? I just took a video 2 days ago of cats sitting in the shopping center eating at their leisure. They're walking all over everywhere. They're living in a abandoned house behind my house, and they use my yard as a thoroughfare, and my neighbor feeds them. So I really need some relief.
Okay, short, good, quick answer is that May 1st, it was when? next week, right? Well, we're hiring an animal control. So that's solid. That's definitely solid. It's gonna happen. That's where we're at. So it hasn't fell on deaf ears. We had to just get back to that. Good morning.
Good morning. I want to find out what are we going to do about all of these abandoned buildings? These abandoned buildings, a lot of them. Hello?
Yes.
Sorry. Yes, I want to find out what we're going to do about the abandoned buildings that we're having. Some of them are not boarded up. Some of them are really, need to be demolished, really.
Right.
But
Okay. Derek, you have to stick with the mic there. Okay, so let me tell you this, as far as last year, we started demolishing homes for the first time, probably since I've been living here. So we do them ourselves, which saves the taxpayers money. So we do the labor and the cleanup. The only thing that we're paying for is the dump fees. We just got $1 million that we can throw towards that effort of tearing properties down. We just acquired another 20 to tear down. We just talked about, we're tearing another 20 down that we just got, and we probably have another 20 already to go to tear them down. So this summer, it'll go quicker because we started doing it ourselves, so we have to buy bigger and better equipment so we go faster. So we're after it. Instead of hiring somebody, it will cost us tons more money because they're coming down. And so in this case, I would let you tell any of you, get a hold of your alderman about that, so you can let them know specifically about a house that needs to get torn down by you. And then we collaborate and talk about it. So that's moving. That's going to change, and it'll be a vacant lot. Now, what will happen? We have to go through a process of asbestos abatement and all this. We have to get a county permit. So it's not as bad. We're good at it now at getting it, but you'll see these houses come down. There's some people in this room that know. How many of you seen some of the houses go down? Yeah, see, there's a lot of people that know. They've seen them. So it hasn't maybe happened by you yet, but these houses are leaving because we're getting rid of them. So we're after it. Yes. Good morning.
Good morning. First of all, we thank you for what you have done, what you are doing. I want to address checks and balances, especially for our seniors, me being one of them. Since May of 2020, up until this past winter of 2024, there was a service of mowing lawns as well as snow plowing or shoveling, of which I have not seen being done. I don't know if it's an automatic payment that's being made for that service, or how do you account for it, or how is it checked off. I don't know anything about that service. I've made calls. I've called till someone probably has gotten sick of me calling. Can you tell me anything about that service? Can you tell me if someone goes through a listing to say this has been done, this has not been done? Because for 4 years, it has not at my home at all.
Okay, I'm not for sure if you've been on the list before. You have.
I've had
conversations
about this.
Okay, it's not actually an automatic renewal, so you have to go through the process to get signed up. And so it's good to know if you're having an issue, and I know some people have had issues, okay? Well, I don't like, I think I sent a message yesterday about, I think you have a problem property next door to you, right?
That's a separate issue.
Yeah, no, well, I tell you, I know it is, but what's not a separate issue is if you're having problems for 4 years with grass cutting, and you're having problems with the house next to you for 4 years, they're the same to me, meaning we shouldn't be having problems at 4 years. So that means I got something or somebody that needs to be fixed. Some people have gotten complacent, let's be clear. That happens. But guess what? Some people got amnesia about it. We walked 53 people out of this building in 3 years. We walked them out of here. And that can happen again. I don't know about 53, because we don't have those kind of people here, but evidently we got a couple of them, don't we? So anybody that knows, that's how it works here. If you're not working, that's what you get paid to do. If you're not working, you gotta go. And so if we hear about it, we'll deal with it, we'll address it. Okay, so I will make sure that I did address that Monday, we're gonna deal with the other issue. But this will be dealt with on Monday also. We gotta stop it, and let's stay in touch about it. And your alder lady is here as well, and we're talking about it. Well, she won't let me forget anyway. Make sure, okay.
Mayor, I just wanted to thank you again, like during Christmas time, all the decorations that went up and down, that was beautiful. I'm loving that because we never had that. And it seems, I'm trying to get where we are able to, I don't know, a lot of places have a downtown area where you can kind of like get together. And I just would love to see something where we can get together, where we can get a downtown, but I don't know if that's possible. Because up and down 159th, there's kind of like darkness up and down. And I guess it's like bringing the criminals. They know where the hiding places is. So I'm trying to see if, are we able to get lights? Because the side I'm on, we don't have lights. But I see by brightening up the areas, have people come out. People don't want to come out because it's too dark. I know I don't want to be out there. So I'm just trying to look into where we can kind of bring that out. Maybe brighten up. I'm right off the 57, and I'm quite sure a lot of people, like you said, people ain't coming in, but they see. Once they go west, it's bright. You come back here and we like, oh wow, you don't want to be there, right? So, just saying.
Mr. Champion, you want to address that?
Thank you for that question. So those are some of the things that we are in process of addressing, okay? We did receive a $1 million grant. We are going through the engineering process now to get some engineering drawings stamped. But we have a lighting project that's going to go on 159th Street, so kind of stay tuned. And that's going to be underway sometime in late spring or early summer. The construction season just started, so we're in the process of finalizing that.
And so this is not new, so it's going to happen quicker. So, you know what, Derek, let's split it up and come back to that side, give them a little love over here, and then we'll come back.
I was very happy to hear that we have a sit-down restaurant coming. Can you tell me where it's going to be?
Right now, the latest one that's coming is called S2. They have a S2 grill. So we're really going after them to really make sure they have a breakfast orientation about what they do. I know it'll be a sit-down restaurant. They're going to, if you've seen any of their restaurants, they're in Orland, they're in Chicago. They've got a place in Harvey as well, and they have their own footprint about. So they're going to be at they're taking, and they bought the old Kickoffs building, so it won't look the same. So they're going to redo that building. So go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I would like to say I'm not with the complaint right now. I'm with the compliments. The compliments is to the mayor, to Mr. Champion, to Bree, and to Wanda. They are awesome. They are awesome, has been doing an awesome job. We want to thank Mr. Champion, the mayor, and the other ladies that I mentioned for bringing the COVID testing, the vaccines, and things when we really, really needed it during the COVID time. They brought that here and allowed us to do it for us, our residents. So I really want to thank them for that. We appreciate you to the fullest.
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? All right, Mayor Agpawa, thank you for this meeting. It's glad to see you. It's good to see you. Agpawa, I'm gonna stand up because I need everybody to see me. I see a lot of my seniors. I love my seniors that are a group that have been knowing me since I was a little girl, since I was 11 years old in Markham, and now I'm a grown woman. But my thing is something for the youth. something for them to do. What is there more for them to do? Because I'm concerned about the youth. I am retired now, but I like the youth and I love my seniors. But once the seniors pass on, we still have children my age, my grandkids and my children, their children's age. They need something to do. And I think I've asked you before about the building that is behind on Laughlin. I'm not for sure what that building does or what's going on in there. And I'm kind of wondering about the upgrade maybe of King Park, something for the children to do. Now, I visit Markham Library a lot, and I see a lot of programs that they have, but a lot of people don't know about them, for them to bring their kids there. Because a lot of people don't visit the library, but they need something to do, because I have a lot of small children on my block, and they need something to do besides playing in the street. You know, so I'm looking to find out, what do you have planned for the youth? And I do communicate with my Alderwoman, Bree. Thank you, Bree. We communicate a lot. I love my Alderwoman. So that's my thing for the youth. What's going on for them?
Okay. Well, one of the things that, when I was talking a little earlier about some of the restructuring that's going on, we're going to be meeting with the Park District about more comprehensive planning of what they're doing. So, you know, government's always interesting. In this case, you know, there is another board that deals with the Park District, so they deal with some of the finance part of things, and we contribute to the park. And so we do have a say-so on what happens with the programs over there. We have guarded, because we really had the ownership to that building in the back, and made sure that we didn't do anything but run programs. So there's small programs that go in there, but we don't allow a lot of other ancillary things like parties, or, you know, repasses, and you know, that goes in the banquet hall. So we're trying to make the gym be a gym, and you know, not make it mixed use, and but we still need the park director to be more comprehensive. So we're definitely going to be talking with her about her programs and making sure that we really get that out to you. So Alderlady Bree, we'll make sure that we talk to her about that. Okay?
Yes, absolutely. One more question over here, Mayor. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, Mayor. Good morning. Is this on? Can I?
Yeah.
All right. First of all, I want to give you a compliment. You're doing a great thing. Markham is on fire. And that's what I see. It's becoming alive. It's on fire. As a citizen of Markham, I would like to first of all find out, how can I find out about all of the senior programs that are out there for the seniors? That's number one. And then, by me living right across the street, how can I find out about all of the criminal activity that goes on? A lot of times, you know, the police back and forth. What happens? As a concerned citizen, we would like to know what goes on in that type of activity. Another thing is, this place where they, right down on Kedzie, where they always put those lovely flowers and things like that. Is there a name for that? If not, just call it the Markham, Magnificent Markham Mile.
So I'll tell you what, I did task someone recently about the senior programs. And so we're going to be more comprehensive about getting that message out, and that way everybody knows. You know, just like I mentioned that we want to build another senior building. That way that the amenities in those buildings could be extended, because most of the senior population in the building we have now are one bedroom. So we want to try and see if we can facilitate something bigger where they'd have more room, parking and things like that, and a community center. So these things, we're talking, I know that Alderman Barron and myself have talked with Robin Kelly about federal money, and then I actually see our lobbyist in the hallway from the state. So we have a state lobbyist that will help us facilitate money to try and go after the funding for senior programs as well as the youth. So that's where a lot of that money comes from. But again, I can tell you in some places already, we're healthy enough on our own to get started. That's what's happened. And I'll tell you why we're healthy. You know, again, this whole Amazon thing that was kind of, to everyone was like, well, what's it gonna render? It's rendered a surplus to our budget. So one of the good things that I can say, that it isn't like everybody wants, but if you're a homeowner in Markham, one of the things that we as a council have talked about, I'm looking at the alderman, because when I start talking, I start looking at my colleagues, because it's not just me. We've decided that we're going to rebate the homeowners back money this year. So that's the best we can do in terms of trying to show you. See, here's the thing, because when TIFs are structured, they're structured to be, and they're designed to spend money a certain way, but we have the right to be able to surplus some of that money back to the residents, and that's part of your tax dollars. So it could be a $400 check or a $600 check coming to your house. And so we don't know what the number is. So that's not, some people are like, well, that's not even a dent in my bill. It's something. And so, and again, that's what you run into. See, that's what you run into in government, because it's like, everybody can't please everybody. And I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to do right. You know, because if you're trying to please everybody, you can't do the job. So what you do is the best you can do and do right. And like Mr. Champion says, I'm with you if you're right. So he says that all the time. So that's the plan. One of the things that I do agree with, and I will talk with the Chief Genius is here in the back from the police department, is that I think that I would like to get minimal information, however the police will let us do it, to get information about things that happen in your community with crime. Because I know that we've had some bad crimes that have happened. But remember, we've had some crimes that have happened. We've had some shootings that have happened in different areas of the town. But it goes back to what I said. Let me back up and rewind. It's because of who lives here. That's not random. They know somebody who lives here that we have to try and exercise out the community. So the only way we can do that is to document it and fight them and take them to court and get them out the property and get them out. That's what happens. Whether you own the house or not, if it becomes criminal, we're going to come after try and deal with it. But again, if we got crime and we got all this, if you got people speeding, it's because somebody knows somebody's speeding down the street. Which I hear less complaints about speeding, by the way. Right. So, all right, where we at? Okay. Good morning.
I guess I'm a new resident of Markham. I live in the Markham Senior Living Complex. Man, we got a bone to pick up.
Okay.
Well, we don't have our bus anymore that would take us to the store and different things like that. We need that bus.
All right. I got an automatic cheerleader. So you know, it's always good when you can reasonably answer. So we're buying a van for you all to have down there on your own. We just decided that. Didn't we kind of say that? Right. So we all just decided that because we only had a few riders that were on the bus, and pace takes you through a lot. Miss Kim, are you okay with what we're doing? Okay, good. Okay, so they take you through a lot of things that you have to qualify for to have their buses, and it's the right thing to do, but we couldn't keep up, and then the drivers and all that and on and on. So we rerouted those people to Bremen to get their ridership, and then you'll have your own bus or van. It'll be a nice van, because then there's no qualifications. If it's a bus, you wind up with a different license. So anyway, the problem's solved. So and applaud your council because they did.
So I just want to say, by show of hands, who missed the last council meeting? So a lot of these questions were actually answered at the last council meeting. So stay tuned.
All right.
How you doing, Raj?
Okay, good morning.
Not a bone. You know I want some of them houses, right? I redo them. The first house on Wood Street with the lighting that the gentleman touched on with 4 pole lights in the yard, totally new roof, all brick structure. When you tear down a house, it's gonna cost a lot of money to put it back. That means that property's gonna be vacant. I sold 2 houses and I was lowballed on both of them after doing, a lot of work to them. Once you make that land vacant, it's gonna stay that way. That means no school money, no tax revenues, no nothing. So the ones that almost break, this might be a question for you. I'm a young developer, as you know. And I put these houses back original, plus.
Okay.
They shouldn't be torn down because they should go to a good family because you can only afford to live somewhere. You can't live in the Olympia Fields. So people that make that salary can only live in Markham. I don't expect to make a ton of money. I'm born in Eagles Hospital. I love this community. And that's why I drop all my money here. All of it. Every red cent. Because I believe in the community. I don't make a whole lot of money off of it. That's not the goal. My goal is to get the dandelions out of the yard. A volunteer program. I talk with Bree. I talk with neighbors for people who need help with something as simple as window treatments. Curtains. They got sheets. Let's get rid of the dandelion form for $5, $10 a donation. That volunteer program that somebody talked about, that's right what we were talking about. Give us $10 and we'll make a lot happen for you. At a minimum cost. And I've been talking about it, but I can't finish my projects yet. You know what I mean? Because I got other things that I have to do, but that is my goal. Bree knows me very well. She's seen all of my work. That first little house next to Garmin Thurman, that little blue house, that's me. That's a brand new driveway, brand new garage, brand new roof, brand new windows, brand new furnace. These houses can't be saved. They can't be. I got a little bit more, Roger. As far as
this is the same issue?
What's his
no.
name?
This is about taking care of your job. When these landlords get to Markham, they got to put down the weed and feed. They need to edge the sidewalk. The landlord's responsible. That landscaping bill, you got to hold them to it.
Amen.
They got to do that, because I do it. I don't allow nobody cutting no grass for me, and I don't want no more houses. All the ones that you let me have are going to be sold to good, willing families. I'm done.
Okay. Well, let me just say this, that we are going to formalize a redevelopment program at a later time, but when I said 20 houses that were going to be demolished, those are 20 houses that have foundational issues, that have structural issues, roof issues that would just be insurmountable to deal with. And by the time we get through with some of the hope of, not maybe you, but some of the other developers, these people got to live next door to them. So they got to go. So what we do have, what I did mention, there was out of 20, 2 of them were good. Well, maybe you or somebody else can buy them. We don't care. But I will tell you what happens with that lot is not any different than what we have to believe about knowing all of what went wrong here. You were here because you were young like I was. I know your family. You lived 4 blocks from me. I was on Wood Street. You on Marshall. So we know where this thing went to it. But we got to believe that by doing the right thing and setting the tone or setting the stage, that somebody's going to build on those vacant lots. And until then, at least they ain't got to look out the window of some raggedy house like Miss Stewart's got to look. We're tearing that house down. If somebody doesn't come quick to get that house because it may not structurally be as bad, it's got to go because she doesn't want to look at it. We won't go into all that. It'll come up, but everybody's got something near them like that. So we're not going to say we're not attentive to you as a homegrown developer and builder from Markham. because we got another family that's like you with Ms. Sparks. We got other people that can do this, but we gotta pick and choose so these people can live. Because they don't wanna wait on, you know, all the processing. They want this stuff going their community back, and it's looking good. And when it looks good, and we get rid of those houses, there can't be any crime and all that stuff that can get on the property, it takes the property value down, everything else. We'll work with you on the ones we can sell and get rid of. That's what we'll do with the people that are here, that are interested. But in the meantime, we gotta get that stuff going.
Yeah.
So, and as far as the landscapers, if you own property, you know, like you said, they have to cut the grass and we're going after them.
Okay.
So that's how it works. But go ahead, man.
Hi, my name is Kim. This is my husband. We own several properties in Markham. We live in Markham.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand there's the rental registration process every year. I just need to know, why do we have to recopy all this paperwork over again? Deed, trusts, operating, every year. We're copying the same thing. Why is there not a short form, some kind of short form, to give to us so that we can just go through the process? Because they're getting this paperwork every year. What are they doing with it? So, yeah, that's what I want to know about that. And being notified. I'm in here every month because I have several properties. What about the landlords that do not live here? I understand the deadline is May 1st. Right. They don't know, but they don't know. They're not being notified. We should receive something in the mail saying, hey, it's that time of the year. We're not getting anything. I just know because I'm here every month. They don't know this. And now they're stuck with an additional fine starting May 2nd. I don't think that's fair.
I would agree with you. I will definitely look into if there's something that we can shorten that process with. I don't disagree. And if notice is not going out, we need to deal with it. So I took a note of that. I will talk to the building department about it. I totally agree. But you know what it's for, though, is so we don't wind up with squatters. Or somebody in your property that you did all that work in, they move in or whatever, and they come up here and get water, try to get water. They can't get water that easy no more. But they'll get utilities a little easier. So it's really designed to protect you, but maybe it's just taking too long. So I hear that a lot with the building department. Sometimes it just takes too long to get something done. So if we're not on point, we'll get it straight. Go ahead, man.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I live on Rosner, and I've been there over 40 years. And you had a temporary speed bump there, and then they took it up. We need another speed bump there because the cars are going down this street like crazy. Kids are out now, they're getting out of school, and that's needed on that street.
Yes. Alderman Bertrand, do you know about what she had?
I know that there were temporaries.
Right.
We're in the process. Last year we started the process of putting them in all over the city.
Right.
And the third ward, before the weather changed, we did not get them down.
Okay.
So there will be some this summer.
Okay. So are you the alderman of that area? Okay.
Where on Rosner?
3341.
Okay. Because I'm out there at least 3 times a week.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, stop by to see me.
I will.
He will. He will. He definitely will.
All right.
Yes, piggybacking on that, the ones that are down,
Yes.
they are not seen, and a lot of people are messing up their cars with that. Yes, because I think it's like white or yellow. They need to paint that visible. Restripe it.
We'll restripe them. But we do have signs that are there. We'll make sure the signs and the restriping is done. Okay.
Hi, good morning.
Can everybody stay with us on this side of the room?
I have 2 questions.
Yes.
Markham Skate Rink, was that ever reopened?
Yeah, what did we say it budgeted was,
2025.
when?
Spring 2025.
At the latest, spring 2025. I thought we talked about maybe by the end of this year though, right? I think it's by the end of this year because the roof is totally being replaced. And also the floor has to be repaired. So we had to get an engineer in And what was happening, water would come off the roof and go under the building and then buckle the floor. And so that was a cycle that just would not stop. So we stopped that by paving in the rear of the property. Now we have to go in, and instead of just patching the roof, we've got money to just replace the whole roof. So we replaced the roof, everything, a lot of other things have been done, so we'll get it going. What was the other question?
Second question. In Chicago, we all know is having the migration problem. Is that affecting our area?
No, it hasn't. We were prepared, to really try and deal with that, really more than anything, since we didn't handle anything sanctuary. We talked with the other communities, and we talked with the city of Chicago about facilitating the buses and things like that. So we were prepared. I know that we did some fundraisers and things like that to try to be supportive. I was very proud of this community, where a lot of people, they were really disappointed about the way that migrant thing was handled, wasn't handled good. A lot of us came from different circumstances, and we wanted to see that it was handled good and with dignity and respect. We have a growing Hispanic population I'm proud of, and they're excellent, beautiful, great neighbors, and so we want to be supportive, and we've done that in the community to try to support. So with that, Mike, you got a mic? Okay. So I hope that answers both. I think that it's kind of subsided. A lot of it's still going to the sanctuary, city of Chicago, but we've been trying to be a neighbor and a partner. So with that, we'll go back there. Go ahead, Mr. Clemens.
All right.
And then we'll get to you in a second, man.
All right, good morning, Mr. Mayor. I have a question for you. Number one, I just wanted to be clear on something, that's all. Correct me if I'm wrong, but did you say earlier that Markham has been allocated $1 million to demolish abandoned buildings? Is that true?
Yeah, we have money that was given to us through our state rep, and we're going to use it towards what I call reverse beautification.
So that's tearing down buildings. Come down. Markham has the money to demolish them, and it won't put Markham in a financial deficit to do so.
Not at all.
All right. Okay, that answers that question. My final question is this: does Markham have a program? Does Markham have a program to help homeowners with regards to renovation projects, say for a person's home or a garage? Let's say if the homeowner in question needs work done on their house, in their house, or on their garage, but said homeowner just doesn't have the funds themselves to pay for it. Does Markham have a program to assist homeowners with regards to issues such as that?
No, but I'll tell you what, we need to get better at it, I believe, and I'm saying this within reason. Mr. Chairman, if you want to chime in, I'll let you, but first I'll say my take on it. It's an honest take. I'm in my 60s. I know I look older. But I'm saying that with all truth and honesty is that at some point, as far as me putting a roof on my house and all these different, look, I don't even want to do it. I'm just being honest with you. And I got 3 different levels of my house, all these stairs. I'm just dealing with it now before it comes and happens. So we're going to facilitate to help people that are able to stay in their homes, but at some point we got to realize that we can or can't either physically or monetarily stay there. So that's just me telling the truth, being a leader. And I started with me before I got and told you about what you need to think about, because it's not up to us. We really, here's real talk again, we're having coffee, right? That's what this is, right? Okay. We shouldn't be cutting your grass. True. I mean, it's a kind senior service, but what about, and what about the other people that are footing that bill? That's a tax that other taxpayers are doing for seniors. It's a kind gesture, but it's not everybody's real responsibility. I inherited that, and certainly until I can explain it to other people how it works, I wasn't going to have you run me out of office over it. I'm not crazy. I mean, I'm trying to get in to help people, but I'm having real talk with you too.
We don't have such a program like that.
we're gonna work on that. So I do think that we do need to point you in directions for services. We should be able to, and eventually we should point you in directions about maybe your grass and your shovel, snow shovel. That's just the truth, because, you know, I know that I'm gonna qualify, but I take care of my own. You know, and it is what it is, and at some point I might be at senior building, where I ain't gotta worry about none of that. And that's what we're talking. Now, so we will try and work on services like that. That is the goal, to where home repairs, so we can point you in the direction, because that's what state and federal money can contribute, and we'll help manage it, like the county manages money for us about services. Did you have some additional?
Yes, I just wanted to add, first of all, we love our seasoned saints, okay? We really focus on you all. But one thing that the mayor mentioned, our lobbyists, these are some of the things that we take to him, because he works with some of the governmental agencies to find resources. Also, our local, not based here in Markham, but we do have a local union, IBEW, I know Coop is a part of that, but they will help out with electrical give backs for our senior population as well. So I just want you to know that if you have any questions, feel free to route those questions through your alderpersons, okay?
And so one last comment on the social services type things. Let me be clear about that, why I'm that way, about what we can and can't do, and being clear about it. It's because the only way that, now listen, everybody's got something at one point. I'm going to need something too. Everybody has some things that things are going to be. I can't see like I used to see. I didn't wear glasses. You know, it is what it is. But I'm saying, I know, give you an example, the retired firefighters or retired policemen, they want young policemen that are working on the job. You know why their interest is that? Because that pays their pension. So, but here's what makes Markham stronger, is that we're not dependent. We don't want, you know, I don't think that we should have a ton of giveaways. I think that we should have reasonable things where we help people. But you're not getting stronger if I'm handing you everything. That's the truth. Now, someone may get mad at me, but that's just, see, I told you can't please everybody, right? But where would I be if I didn't tell you that? You want to have some idea that at least maybe I go along with you with it. But I just know in the back of my mind, look, this just might be too much. At some point, we got to stop this. So that's what any of us should do. So I'm trying to be reasonable, so when you leave here, you take what we're talking about and balance it out with the rest of the community. So I just had to say that we will help everybody. Clement, I know your family, I know where you're at, and we will make sure that services are provided to people. But as much as we can, little by little, we want to get a stronger community by not, handing different things out. And that's why we're tough on renters and homeowners, trying to make your tenants. See, because you're running a business. Well, we're helping your business because they're going to have a strong community where they're at, and then we're asking, put requirements on them, and then we ask for you, since you got tenants, tell them, hey, you got to do right over there. Or I'm going to put you out in the city, go help me. We're going to help you.
Question over here.
Good morning, Mayor, and my auntie said hi.
Yes, tell her hello, yeah.
I have a solution and also a comment and a thank you. Yes. So first, thank you for everybody who's always present, especially in my neighborhood and my boss. Solution. I have kids offering help, like whether it's raking my leaf or shoveling my snow, so I'm not sure what kind of teenagers. I'm busy with the Bremen kids walking back and forth, so when they see me raking my leaves in the fall, 20 of them bags, I have 10 trees in the yard. So they do offer help, so I want to encourage our teenagers to give them a shovel, a rake, and a bag of lawn, and I think, get their exercise. That'll be their workout for the day. So encourage them to volunteer and help out. That's number one. And I'm also thankful for all the police officers and Someone's always driving around to make sure the community enforcer is always present. I'm grateful. So I heard in the news that we were offered $20 million to help out migrants, every community. There were only actually 2 takers. So if we are offered that money, by the way, I'm from the Philippines, and my parents are Ingalls, and I know the mayor personally, know my aunt who's an Ingalls nurse for 30 plus years, and I'm my 4th year in residency over there in Markham. So if there were $20 million allocated to the funds to help out the Venezuelans, or whoever the migrants, why didn't we take any? And if we did take any, how is it being allocated?
We didn't get that off. I did hear about some other communities, like you said, that did. I think that we would have really tried to consider that. I know that we've got a couple of places that could have been possibly utilized that way, but we would have had to have a conversation about it with the alderman. If that should return at some point, we could see where that would be suitable in the community. You know, if we can really get this thing really going, like what we were talking about with development, you know, maybe those would be some things that we can do with redeveloping something so people will have a place to come live, and we can work with those are the kind of things that if we're going to try and help people out, those are the kind of, not just me getting comfortable with my address, not thinking about not moving, because I might need to move. You know, I'm talking about me, because nobody's going to have to ask me to move when that property gets too much for me. Because I'm not going to be over there trying to take care of it. I can't do it. You know, I don't want whatever I have left in my life just doing that. So these are the things that if we want to be as blessed as we've been, because we've been honestly blessed. I kid you not. I believe that anything that we have put our hand to here, it has worked in terms of goal. Now, it's a different kind of goal for everybody. So, but I see it, and I believe, and thank you for bringing that up, because that's why we have been winning. It's because we've helped different cities, we've given them vehicles that weren't good to us anymore. We've had other communities that this council has passed resolution and motions to get rid of equipment and all kinds of different things to towns that were less fortunate than us. Well, there's people that are less fortunate. And so that's precipitated. But I'll let you go ahead with the next question. But we're going to address that. If it comes our way, we'll have a meeting about it to help with migrants and anything of that sort. So,
Mayor, question in the back row here.
go right ahead.
Good afternoon, Mayor.
Good.
I thank you for coming out and coming to the house. Yeah, I was really shocked. They said the mayor, and I'm looking around opening my door. Thank you for being that mayor. I stayed in Chicago for all of my life, and I never seen the mayor knock on my door. So I thank you for that. And my question is for the vacant houses, those lawns need to be cut without anybody calling. The trees need to be trimmed in the backyard.
You're right.
Also, we have cars that's sitting on property. My husband's car got towed sitting on our property. There's cars that's sitting on property that haven't been towed. And so fair is fair.
Yeah.
And they need to take care of those. Those are my only 3 problems, but as far as Markham, I love it. No sidewalk, nobody standing on the corner. I love it. I love Markham.
Thank you. Let me just answer about the vacants and cutting the grass. I'm looking at Ms. Stewart in the back. I'm looking at Our Lady Hampton. As much as we started out with Public Works, they were left like gangbusters changing the community, but everybody just gets to a point like you got to go get them, you know. So we're restructuring that department. I still love them, but we got to do what we got to do with getting them right. So that's kind of what's going on, but it's still unacceptable. You'll still get service. I'm just telling you internally, since we're having coffee, right? I'm just telling you, I'm telling you things you would not know. And Chief can attest to what I'm saying. We have the police chiefs here. We have real talk about, you know, this police officer, you know, like off his rocker about the way he's handling something. You know, and not on the street, but internally. But we know if we don't deal with some stuff internally, it'll get to the street. And that's why me and the police chief, we deal with stuff, and you know, all the department heads, I'm telling you some internal stuff. That before, you know, somebody gets way out of whack, again, that's what we're structuring public works, and it needs it. It's just at that time, the leadership and other things up there have to be dealt with. So go ahead.
One more short question.
Yes.
Good morning, and thank you all. Thank you, Mayor, for all that you do. And this is on hands, Mayor, because he has been to my house several times when he was campaigning, and I just went down the whole block campaigning for him. But my question is, I have one of the neighbors, she passed away, right there by my house, right in the back of my house, 155th and Millard. And it's a lot of trees and shrubs is growing over the fence. And then in the fall time, when the leaves fall off the trees, I try to keep the easement, because I'm on an easement, I try to keep it looking pretty nice and decent, but it's overwhelming. Trying to get all those leaves up, and my husband, he's in his 70s, and we don't have that much help. And so I really thank you for helping us to be able to have someone to come and cut the grass. And I did talk with the lawn care guy and asked him, was it possible he can cut some of those bushes and trees off of the gate? Because you can't see over there. And then I do see some squatters once in a while at that house. I believe it's for sale, but I'm not sure. But it's empty and it's causing, and then another question, so I won't forget, the wildlife. Because I'm in the back of prairie land, and there's a lot of wildlife back there. And the skunks, they tore up my roof and put a big hole in there. And then the next door neighbor, he had the skunks in his roof sleeping inside of his roof. Raccoons were sleeping in the roof and crawling, and they crawled not the gutter, they crawled in your walls. So I was really scared of those things. So happy, God bless. I thank God for blessing us with an awesome mayor. My neighbor next door too, he used to be a roofer, so he said he would fix my roof, and he repaired it for $10.
The same thing, I know that is going on Millard. I know Mr. Cooper's here, he lives on Millard, and it's the corner house. I think it was Miss Campbell that lived there. So I know who it is that passed, and we're just going to have to take some more ownership about how we're getting to these vacant properties. You know, again, I'm looking at Ms. Stewart, getting Mr. Cooper the mic. Okay, Ms. Cannon, then we'll go back over to Mr. Cooper.
If you want to finish with your questions, go right ahead. I just want to give some closing remarks. You know, I have to leave my encouragement remarks before we leave here. Because that's my mayor standing there. And that was my fourth grade student. So go ahead now. And I'll make fun for you.
All right, okay, we'll just have to get this lady right here.
Yeah, get her in, Mr. Cooper.
Woo! Thank you, y'all. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning.
Thank you for this forum. It's awesome, and I think we should probably do it more often. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
This is just great. Thank you for your leadership, Mr. Mayor. And since the last meeting I attended as a group meeting, you had made a vow to, well, the statement you made was Markham doesn't have to be a dirty community. The main streets, the villages, I see the employees working, cleaning, the streets are clean, they're beautiful, especially on the main thoroughfare. I'm a lifelong member of Chicago, Illinois, like the lady back there. I came in from Chicago, retired Chicago police officer. I decided to move to Markham. Sold my home, and I've been here for 3 years. living at the Markham Senior Living Complex. These are all my senior living friends. And it's directed by our very capable and hard-working advocate, Kim Bond. Can we recognize that leader? Yes. She looks out, she works very hard. Mr. Mayor, a lot of people have visited the senior living. When it's voting time, they come and talk with us, they see we respond. But a lot of times we get visitors who come, make a lot of promises, and they disappear. We have a lot of power, as all people have powers, but seniors in particular, we've earned that power. Amen. So, Mr. Mayor, we'd like to see that second building you're mentioning. We'd like to see some covered parking over the cars. And we know it's a process. But we've been told and told, I'm only there 3 years. Some of these people have been here 7, 8, 9 years at the building. We want to see something happen for the senior living complex because we're a strong community of people over there and we support this community. And it's important, last statement, it is important who lives among us in our community. I'm trying to tell my fellow Chicago police officer retirees to move to Markham. 22nd District.
So let me just say, we're going to, some people mentioned that I come to their door, and I know I've been over to the building many, many times, and probably not as much as I'd like to as of late. It's my intention, not just because it's a political year, because it is, I just want to try and do my rounds while it's warm, because I don't like the cold. I'm going to be out, at the building anyway, but I will be out there probably more in the summer months because I know there's campaigning in the cold in the fall, and I don't want to have that challenge as much. But I've always been out there, and I'm not going to take it for granted because I'm going into another term that I don't need to come walk. That's part of what, it's a small community, that's what we should be doing. And I think that all of us have done it. I know that I walk with Old Lady Hampton, I walk with Alderman Bertrand, Old Lady Wanda, we all walked the clerk, we walked all together. And we're going to walk again. We walked this community twice, and we were in the building all the time. And I know Ms. Kim tries to keep me posted with things, and she does. So we'll make sure that we're there. And you're right, I wouldn't want to argue with 75 people in that building. I'm not going to do that. But we'll make it happen. And I'm not going to take nothing for granted. I'm going to be knocking on your door. That's part of what you're supposed to do. And when I can't walk, I probably should just, I shouldn't be here. Somebody else needs it. And I am trying to get somebody ready for us to take. Somebody's got to do this one day. This can't just be me. Right. It's got to be somebody else that we get ready to take, and we have to think that way. I'm not going to be here forever, so that's good succession planning. That's why these communities sustain themselves well, because they think that way. And it's not just the mayors, just like I said about putting professional government in. We have a city, you heard Mr. Champion's background, you hire people that know more than you know. He's got a degree I don't have. You hire people like that plan and know business and government how to navigate it. That's what you should do. Mr. Cooper, I'm sorry.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning.
Markham residents. To bring to the point about the raccoons, I live on Millard there. The wildflower people they're cleaning up the prairie, I guess, by getting rid of a lot of the older trees. And what that's doing is forcing all the wildlife into the community. A bunch of people on my block had problems with the raccoons, and once they get into your attic and they have babies, they're always going to return. Solution we had over there, you want to look into it, they like the bi-levels. What they do is they get on the lower roof, and your eave is just a panel in the upper roof. And that's where they can push that up because there's no back. When the contractors build it, cheap way, they save on all that wood. So a few on the back side of the prairie, they took my suggestion and it stopped the raccoons. They had the panels taken down and they put 3/4 inch plywood around the eaves. So now we always see raccoons up there when I'm out there drinking my coffee watching. They're up on the roof and they're pushing up. Then they get mad and climb down the gutter and they go back into the prairie. The problem's going to get worse as they demolish all the trees. The other thing, Mayor, along Frontage Road, cars constantly going through the fence off of 57. Is there any way that we can address the state? Because them guys come off and put the fence up there. They're making a lot of money. Can we have some kind of barrier or approach to the state? Let's put up concrete or the big walls, because the noise is up without the trees there. So is the shooting at night. On 57, them trees used to be a line between us and that expressway at nighttime with the bullets. I got a bullet from my gutter. I was cleaning it. So it's starting to be a concern. So if you could address that, it'd be appreciated. For sure.
I 100%, if I lived on Frontage Road, I would be, if you've seen, there's only a few homes over there, but people just drive, so how they drive, we already know. And they go off and they veer off the road and they tear the fence up. Now, we've actually gone over there a few times, and even off 159th, where it's happening over there, we replaced the fence. We will go after the state. Yes. Go right ahead, Mr. Cook.
Yeah, one other thing to you seniors, because we do take care of you at Markham. I'm retired local 134, and I worked with Mr. Champion and the mayor. Like they said, all the trades have one day a month they give back, especially the seniors. And they go in, put smoke detectors, correct electrical problems as far as the IBW. But if you get with Mr. Champion, if you're having problems, we can address all the local tradesmen, and when they have these days, we can come out, I can get the IBW to come out, and they address things for seniors.
Nice, okay. Thank you, Mr. Cook. Let me just mention something about the animal control person that we're trying to get. We want to make sure that that person is not just doing dogs and cats. They need to have an understanding about dealing with wildlife, with skunks, raccoons, possums. These are issues that wind up coming into the urban setting. And so we're going to get somebody who knows how to do those things. But again, we'll deal with that fence issue. I'll ask the state about a barrier wall. I would love to see that over there. I know the toll road they've been a little readily, but we'll ask about that. One other thing I wanted to mention, when we were talking about the rebates, one of the things, I had a couple of announcements to remember. One of the things that we talked with the council about, that's in my note here, the red light camera system, we're doing away with that. There were some places where it really served its purpose, but it just doesn't, and I think that most of us know that they're there. I hardly see those complaints anymore, so we weren't running into it. And we would always try and be gracious to our people about it, but they really have kind of run their course. So that's one thing. And then some of the seniors don't have it to worry about as much. We're doing away with city stickers. The council has agreed to that. I thought that was a good gesture by the council to do that. And I'll tell you why. Even though we could have done a little bit more enforcement with it, because we've got a younger police force, a better police force, and we're putting more people there than ever before. We'll we'll be at numbers that we haven't had in how many years, Chief, would you say?
We never had these numbers.
We never had these numbers. And you're gonna see police, like, you're gonna be like, wow, there's another one. And it's gonna honestly be to that degree. Now, let me digress for 1 second. Don't lose your thought over there. It's gonna come back to you. Let me say this because before I forget, I don't want to forget because I left this part out earlier. You got to understand that regardless to how many police you see, the council and I talk about this. I just don't see our lady Wanda anymore. I see two of the councilmen. I see her, but I want to kind of look. We talk about this. The philosophy is that you don't throw police at a problem. You throw code enforcement at the problem. So if we constantly are sending code officials to let us know how to govern and live, that's where it's at. If you send the police to that house, it's too late. Most of the time, you know, if you're really trying to fix a problem, it's code enforcement, gutters, and how you take care of your property, and how you behave at that property. So I just want to let you know that's part of how we think at City Hall. It's not just throwing something at something. We know why they're going there. So I hope I didn't make you forget everything. Did you forget it all?
Let's find out, Mayor. Trying to get it. Let's find out, Mayor.
That's okay. Definitely, go ahead.
Okay, hello everyone. Okay, I'm trying to remember, I've been fighting for this for about the last 10 minutes. But anyway, I was just I want to thank you for cleaning up country air with the trees. It was turned into a neighborhood forest reserve, so some of the trees are gone. My question to seniors, I am a senior, a serious one, and right now I want to know, all they have is bingo going for them. I mean, before, I've been in Markham for years. I've been married 100 years. My kids and all grew up here and moved out. But we used to have a program where you can exercise. I mean, bingo is good. You can sit at home and watch TV and bingo. But I'm saying an exercise for seniors. I'm a nurse. And I think they need to move. We need to move around. You know, it should be a class and that building over there, the field house, it's just sitting there. We used to have classes over there. What happened to that? Is that still part of Markham?
Yes. Rosner?
Yeah. Yeah.
The Rosner Field House?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, the Park District.
Right.
Yes.
We used to have exercise classes.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff going on. Now, I went over there and it looks horrible.
I just had a resident talk to me about recreational facilities in the Park District. We're addressing that actively, and some of you may or may not know, and I'll tell you it's twofold. If anybody's been, if you periodically walk the park or the path, does anybody walk that path over there at all?
Oh, I have walked
Okay, so has anybody noticed any difference with the path at all back there? What'd you notice?
They cut down the trees.
There you go. Okay. Okay, well, guess what? It's not over. So it's far from over, and all of them are going to be, we work together. We're going to be jumping up and down this year because not only are we going to finish cutting all those trees at the park, we started at the park over at Markham Park, school over there. We've already taken a house down over there, extended the park, cut the trees down over there. But in many areas of your wards throughout the city, now, I'm just going to tell you ahead of time, remember we're having coffee. I know we're going to leave here in a few minutes, but because we're about at the end, but we're having real talk again, so we just had coffee. We're going to cut down literally what? Hundreds of trees. Hundreds this year. Hundreds of trees. Hundreds of trees this year. Now, you know, the earth people come after you about all this stuff, right? But no, we're going to cut the right ones down. The ones that need to go. We're going to almost look like a facelift by the end of the year. Kid you not, never have we cut down this many trees. And we need to. We need, you know, I know I'm looking at Mr. Cooper, because sometimes I look at people, we cut you know, we trimmed trees to go down the line. We didn't finish, we didn't go towards the south. But I think we did your block and we tried to trim them from over the street.
Yeah.
And so these are some of the things that we want to do, but some of them are going to be gone. And if you've got something in front of your house that's bad, pushing up the sidewalk and all that kind of stuff, call your alderman. Let them know. Call Old Lady Hampton, Old Lady McDowell, Bertrand, and Alderman Barron. Let us know about those trees. If you don't have a sidewalk in front of you or something, you still may have a bad tree or towards the street. It may be conflicting some things with your clean out towards the front of your property. So we want to be careful about these things. So don't overcommit, because sometimes you've got a little bit of responsibility. We'll help you out with it, but the city's going to look different by the end of the year. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Champion.
Yeah, so I just wanted to add to what the mayor was just mentioning. But the mayor and the city council, we're extremely focused on the quality of life here in Markham. From redeveloping our parks, which is there's some issues in certain wards, so we're focusing on that. We are definitely working to make sure that our community partners play a role in a lot of this stuff too. A lot of our big community partners, I have them sign community benefit agreements. So our park district is going to get a renovation and with zero cost to the city. So we are really focusing and holding them accountable as well. Amazon redeveloped, of course they help with the water tower. We have to redevelop our firehouses, put in new park equipment. So know that Markham is working, and our mayor is on the move, and Markham is thriving. So stay tuned, because Markham is on the move for real.
Oh, this gentleman right here, man.
Okay, real quick, we'll come back. Oh yeah, Mr. Cox. Okay, we'll come to your side here. Okay, we're coming back to this side.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor, for acknowledging me. I'm a resident of the 4th Ward since 2005, and I'd like to let you know that we do exist on the other side of I-57.
Yes.
We are proud Markham residents as well. One of the things I would like all of you people to do, to take from here, is leave as a neighborly individual. Okay, respect your neighbors, encourage your neighbors to improve their property. I've had the neighbors call the police on me because I put garbage in their garbage, or something like that. If you see me out there cleaning up the garbage, don't look at me. Come out there and help me clean it up. This is my community. That's my house, and I love it. I respect it. I encourage my neighbors to respect their house, because the value of your house is only as good as the person that's next door to you.
Thank you, Mr. Cox. Thank you so much. You're right. Yeah, go ahead. I think this lady over here. The lady in the second row there. Yeah. Yes.
Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
I'm Miss Abdullah. I live in Country Air. Some mornings I get up. Magnolia. Some mornings I get up, I don't have no water. How long? I've been living in this house. It was new construction when we bought it. And 19 years. And some mornings I get up, maybe every 3 months, you know, be trying to get ready to do something, and the water's off. I wonder how long this is going to be going on, because it's been going on for 19 years since I've been living here.
Okay, I didn't know about that one, Mr. Bertrand. We have to stay. Okay, so I'll tell you what. Are you part of if there's a water main break, you know, we need people to sign up so you get notification, because it'll either text you on your phone or send you an email.
They do.
Oh. You just wanted to stop.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, we had a water main break. We had one the other morning, and you know, I'm like everybody else, because I get the notice. I'm just like, well, I hope it ain't near my house. Yeah, I'm like you. I'm the same way. I'm like, well, I hope it ain't me. You know, I live here.
I was thinking, I said, did I pay my water? I called.
Right.
And they told me the water I paid.
But it was a nice day. But the days preceding that weren't nice, so the ground shifts and it breaks the pipe. So that's what happens, and that's what Mr. Champion was saying about this infrastructure, where we're getting these millions of dollars to start getting rid of this old infrastructure, so we can get rid of the water main breaks and the flooding. and this will stop a great deal of it. So, yes, Mr. Clement.
Very quickly, Mr. Mayor, you mentioned earlier that the city of Markham is getting rid of red light cameras and having to have Markham City window stickers on their cars. When does this go into effect?
I believe this is going to be in effect May 1st.
Of this year?
Yeah, this year, May 1st. So let me make a public service announcement about the stickers. There's one catch to the stickers. It's a good catch. It ain't gonna cost you nothing. So that's the bottom line. We don't want the cost is right, but we still will require you to have a sticker for regulation, but it's free. Just come get it. It's free. Yeah, it's free. But we want to make sure that people are registered to those homes. That's all it's about. We have to have regulation, so the sticker's free. Just come get it. We'll come after people who don't come get it. Then we'll want to talk to you, Madam Clerk.
Mayor, those, the stickers that they currently have
Okay.
expire.
This is the clerk, you all. This is tremendous.
The stickers that you currently have will expire February 28th of next year. So however, stickers will go as they used to on sale, but they will be available for the following year starting December 1st. Those stickers will be free.
Okay, so you heard it. We'll send out a notice to make sure that you know there's no cost to it. We got another gentleman in the back. Who's got the mic? So we got a lot of reasonably good things happening. So go ahead, sir.
What do you consider senior citizens, and when does it start, the age?
I think it's 65. Yeah, 65. So everyone, we're going to start wrapping up. If you got any questions left here, any other questions before we close out?
Just to piggyback on the senior that's
Yes.
about to be built. I used to see patients in that building, and I was told to park way out on the street because I'm not allowed to park in the lot or whatever. So keep in mind that nurses try to take care of you guys in your own home setting. So
Yes.
parking is a must, like, you know, you have handicap parking,
Right.
patient parking, and at least have a parking spot for the healthcare people that comes in.
Will you
Keep it
make?
in
Not
mind.
at 15520 Kedzie, and our director, is Kim here?
She just
She just left out. but-
Okay, did you come to 15520 Kedzie?
It was a while ago, so I'm glad.
Have we changed that?
No, we get a lot of caregivers, ma'am, and they park in the lot.
Good, thank you. I just kind of want to make sure
Also,
that's
okay, we'll,
incorporated.
let's make sure we carve out, we'll work together, carve out, because you all want services, we want to make sure they can get into the building. But the big thing is, like you said, we need to come up with a different facility where you all can park really with covered parking. So let's get down to the last few questions, and then we'll have Ms. Cannon close us out. Sir, you're in the back, and then we'll come back to you, Ms. Stewart. Go ahead, sir.
I'm new to Markham. I've probably been here maybe 2 years.
Can you talk to the mic? Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
I'm new to Markham. I've probably only been here like a couple of years now. And the question I have is, it's like, it's a little bit better because I come from South Holland. So I think you all got things a lot more going on. I feel more like my neighbors are more like friendly because over there they were like distant. So I feel like the community, the subdivision I moved in, I feel better. But a couple of things is like, if I didn't meet a few certain neighbors, I wouldn't know who the alderman was, who a couple other people were. It's like, maybe you address or think of something like when people move in, like a welcome packaging or something like that, because you all have a couple of programs that's in place. So it would be nice to have, like, when you move in, you get this little welcome package in the mail or things like that, because everybody don't get the mail. Sometimes the post office the postal person do a great job, and sometimes they won't.
Right.
So, you know, it's just a couple of little.
Absolutely. So let me just address that for one of the other announcements, everyone. There are two block club, well, there's one block club in the city of Markham that's been well established on the east side of Markham for many, many years.
Yes.
One of our former aldermen, Alderman Lofton, is here, and he's also the president of the Markham Block Club. Alderman Lofton. So, Alderman Lofton, who is the president, we've met, we talked about forming a west side, everything west of 294. We're going to meet at the VFW, so if you see this, on May 7th, these cards are available here. May 7th at 6 o'clock. Now I can tell you on May 6th, the Monday, if you look to the east, that will be a Markham Community Block Club at the Markham Banquet Hall at King Park. That is for the east side. And so this creates more community and getting the word out. The aldermen typically, they attend as well, and they come out also. And so you can meet your alderman there, and then we can continue to spread the word the way we're doing it. So, was there something else? Okay. All right, so we're going to wrap up now. I thank everybody for, we're just 10 minutes over, which is not too bad. Did anybody have any parting thought that we didn't cover? Because if you did, we don't want you to leave without, in the back, Miss, go ahead.
You were talking about the ground shift, and where I stay at, if the electrical people come out quite frequently, because that affects some kind of way the electrical work, and it's right there over my house.
Okay.
That, what you call that box?
Yes.
Yes, right there, so it comes frequently, especially when there's a storm. And I believe it causes, when you brought up the ground to shift.
Yes.
So my driveway have cracked real bad, and I need some help with it, or if anyone.
We can take a look at it, for sure.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thank you.
Make sure you call my office, and me and Mr. Champion will get over there and take a look and see what's going on, okay? I think we had in the back, Ms. Stewart had another question, then we'll close it out if anyone has anything else. But I'm really grateful. I know that we don't want you to leave out because we do have some carry out you can still grab on the way out. So go ahead, Ms. Stewart.
I want to first say thank you. It has been a plethora of information, great information given, and I'm totally supportive.
Say with the towards the end here. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ms.
I
Stewart.
just want to ask, clear up, you had mentioned something about a household rebate or a homeowner rebate that would be given.
Yes.
Can you clear that up for us?
So since we had, you know, one of the things that, you know, when we had the tax assessor out, in the way that you draw business, I'll do this quick. This is a good understanding of where money comes from and the decisions we have to make. We were yielded additional tax money out of our TIF fund. And so we want to take out that TIF fund because out of the TIF fund for taxes, we pay for police, the additional police that we're going to bring on, the fire department, a lot of the city properties that we have to, like the buildings, and all the things that maintain that would normally come out of your regular tax money. Well, the way that this is worked with Amazon, we're able to take that money out of the TIF fund. And so what we're doing is taking 1.5 million out of the TIF fund and we're giving it back to you all. That's what we, in taking care of services, that's what the money's supposed to do. And it's supposed to take care of the streets and the infrastructure around the TIF. So we'll be putting lighting around Dixie Highway, around the TIF and things like that. But we also, it freed up money in our regular budget to come and take care of the other streets. So now that's money we don't have to spend because it's coming out of the TIF. So we want to make sure that we're doing something towards your tax bill. So that's what the whole purpose is. Yeah, you're getting services, the place looks better, but my taxes aren't getting any relief. So we can't take the money directly and take it all, because that's not what we can do with that. We were fortunate to get them in, so let's take what we can piece by piece. We're gonna get around $6 million every year additional. So every year, you probably will get a rebate. Pretty much. This is gonna be till about 2041. Now, what will happen, when we bring other things in like this, we'll do that. If we can't get it would have been nice if there would have been no TIF. But they wouldn't have come. That was the problem, you know what I mean? So it would have been nice, it would have been just clear money, and we wouldn't have to do any of this. It would have all went into the general, your tax bill would have been reduced on its own. We wouldn't have had to do this. But doing the right thing is giving you something for it. You got to do something. It's not, it could be between $400 and $600, that's the estimate. And as things improve in the city, the way we're taking the money out of the TIF to make the buildings better, making police better and all that, well, that eventually stabilizes, right? So I believe that the rebate will increase. I'm looking at the chief there, I think, because he lives in town like I do. And so I think that eventually that rebate will keep going up. Mr. Cooper, I see you looking in the back, so go ahead.
Is there any way we can work with Mr. Larry Rogers about this, go block by block, as you know, a little section over there, and the other gentleman over there, some of us pay a lot in property taxes.
Right.
I'm at 8,000. I looked at everybody's in here, and a lot of people on this side of Markham get a lot more services, and they pay a lot less in taxes. So is there any way we can bring him in? I thank you for this rebate. A lot of them, we've had people lose their homes over there.
Yeah.
Two young girls on the corner, they bought their dad's house, and
right.
The taxes went up. They couldn't afford to walk away from it.
Well, I tell you what, definitely we can get with the board review, and we can get Mr. Kagi back out, and we can work with individuals that are having taxing issues. Definitely, there's a lot of different things that we can do to help. And we'll keep making, I want that rebate definitely out of that particular tip to keep going up, so you get more money back every year. And that's what we want to do. Did you have a question over here?
Yeah, this home rebate you talked about, do we have to apply for it? Or?
Yeah, you'll get instruction for sure. We'll get to every homeowner, and we'll probably work it out where you can identify that you live there. We're not going to have all of a sudden how that can go, but there will be a strict way that we deal with it to where the homeowners will get their rebate. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay. I think we're good. Let's get to Ms. Cannon and we'll close out. Ms. Cannon wants to have the final word. Ms. Cannon, is it okay for me to say your age, or will you say it?
Pardon me?
You don't mind telling us your age, do you?
95.
She's 95.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Every time I come, I have to have a word to say, because it may be my last time. I don't know. We've gone full circle. I can tell you that. We've gone full circle. And when I say full circle, that means that a homegrown mayor there was my fourth grade student. I was his director. Now he's mine. So we've gone full circle because I see a lot of my kindergarten, Sunday school students here. They made a speech over there. Kindergarten, Sunday school student. One of my fourth grade students over there, Jonathan Evans, the builder that just spoke. He was a fourth grader of mine. And I think I know that voice over there. That voice sounds like Glover. Is that a Glover? I don't forget my students, of course. I know them all. But we've gone through a circle now, and I'm just so happy. I am so encouraged that this second generation is taking over. And they're doing it. Because I have gone through 1 city manager, 3 mayors, this is the fourth one. And of all of those, well, you're supposed to make progress, but we have made excellent progress. We came from a library that was a hole in the wall in Canterbury to a state-of-the-art library over there. State-of-the-art school building over there. State-of-the-art city council chamber. I was city clerk for 8 years in that little building that's attached here. Doesn't even compare with this, but that's all we had. And we functioned and we did what we had to do. We were always a city of class. And of the 95 years that I have been on this earth, 61 of those years have been right here. 5 generations coming through. All educated. First teacher of the Hazel Crest, first black teacher of the Hazel Crest School District that encompassed Markham also, and Harvey, and Hazel Crest. So, you know, I've been here a long time. And I just want to drop some encouraging remarks. You know, when you say someplace 61 years, you must be happy. And you may not be happy all of the time, but you're going to be happy some of the time. Or you're going to get out of here. I just want to leave some encouraging remarks to all of you. I've enjoyed everything I've heard. Some have been very encouraging, and it keeps me moving. It keeps me moving. So I'm here every time I get a chance. I'm here every time I get a chance. Because I know my time won't be much longer. I got sense enough to know that. But I'm good while I'm here. I just want to say to you, I love that young man standing there. He's always been a good, kind-hearted, helpful, interested, concerning in the community. He's been all over the city of Markham. With the fire department, with the beautification department, when I was on the beautification committee. He's been all over. I have seen him escort city aldermen into the city council when I was city clerk. Older ladies that were city council, he would walk in with her, escorting her into her seat. He was a young man. And carrying her for her little fur coat. And he would see her, and then he would wait and he would take her home. I said, that boy got something about him that's good. That's good. And he lived right there on Wood Street and was a fourth grade student at the Shirley Ford School. Then he became Rap Bunch, and now it's Obama. Now, this remark that I want to leave with you. A few years ago, I was here at the council meeting. I made my last will and testament statement, but I'm still here. So I'm going to leave it again.
All right.
And it is. Renee, I remember with the little girl over there in Rap Bunch School. Keep your focus. I call him Roger. He's my Roger.
That's right. Right.
Keep your focus, honey.
Okay.
I say to all the citizens, keep your focus. Support him. He means well. He's going to do the best for you. He's done the best that has ever been done in this city. Just keep your focus. That's all I want to say. We're going to let Mount Zion rejoice.
Thank you very much. And I thank all of you all.
And then we may tell it to all the generations following.
All right.
All the generations following.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Cannon. I thank everybody for coming out. Grab something on your way out because she's going to make me cry on the way out. And I thank all of you on the way for coming out. Okay, sure.